so I can tell her. Okay, Facebook is here. Nicole, refresh. Hi, Gia. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Evelyn. Colleen, my love, is here. Maria, Kathy. It's so good to see everybody. Hi, Ruby. How are you, my dear? Happy Friday to all of you. Did you make it through the week? I hope you did if you're here. we made it, you guys. Some of us more beaten up than others, right? I got a little beaten up this week. It's been a heck of a week, and I'm so glad that it's Friday. I cannot even begin to tell you how I keep telling myself about how I get to sleep in tomorrow morning. Like, do you ever do that? Like, your week is so hard. Like, the only way you're able to get through it is just by reminding yourself, you know what? You get to sleep in on Saturday. It's okay. You're going to get to sleep in on Saturday. Anybody else feeling that? Like, I'm all up in my feels about my Saturday sleeping. Oh, y'all. Gia says it's a ridiculous, stupid week. I feel that in my soul. I feel that it has been a ridiculous, stupid week. Yes, it has. I like your new profile picture. But it's a teeny beanie on my end, but I like it. I like it. Kathy's here. Hi, Kathy. I love you. Oh, it's so good to see everybody. So, all right, let's talk about it. It's Feel Good Friday. Oh, wait, everybody stop. Terry says this 4:30 a.m. wake up is getting old. I also feel that in my soul. School has just started back, y'all, and I drive 4 hours a day. 4 hours a day. Ask me why. Don't ask me why. Just guess. Just guess. I lose 4 hours of work every stinking day now. Anyway. Totally my late sleep in is 7 a.m. Ooh, I'm gonna kiss that 11 a.m. mark tomorrow morning. And if anybody wakes me up, they just better have on like full football gear because I will throw things. Right? Okay. Anyway, let's stop talking about it because it just makes me sad that I'm not sleeping in right this second. Who's with me? It's nap time. Let's go. Ready? Break. So anyway, it's Feel Good Friday. It's my favorite day of the week. And if you are unfamiliar with Feel Good Friday, let me give you the rundown. Okay. So on Tuesdays, I do projects. On Fridays, I do projects. But the difference is that on Fridays, those projects are available in kit form for purchase over in my Etsy shop. And that is how I keep the lights on. So thank you for all of you who make purchases on Feel Good Fridays. Feel Good Fridays are all about easy, fun, instant gratification jewelry that you can easily recreate with the kits that are available in my Etsy shop. Did I happen to mention the Etsy shop? That's Etsy.shop/13 Crows if you want to head on over there. But also there are links that are being dropped as we speak. And all you have to do is just click on them if you want to go shop, right? So, what was I going to say? Oh, Nicole can sleep to 9. She considers it a great day, right? 9 o'clock. I miss you, 9 a.m. Okay, anyway. So, sleep this week has been stupid, right? Everybody's had a bad week. So let's make it a good week by hanging out together with our Feel Good Friday. So I always say that these kits are easy to recreate. It's instant gratification jewelry. And the goal here is that on Fridays, I like to keep things simple, right? I like to keep things super simple so that you do not go into the weekend being bogged down with technique and like new things. What I want is just to take all of the skills that we've been working on, all of the easy things that we've been working on, and I want to make beautiful jewelry that inspires you to first go over to the Etsy shop and buy them, but also to kind of look at the fact that I mention all of the time, and that is that beautiful jewelry does not have to be a representation of every skill that you have ever learned over your jewelry making life, right? Sometimes easy is the best way to go. And some of the most beautiful pieces are ones that don't have a lot of complication. I don't want to complicate things for your Saturday and your Sunday. I just want you to be ready to go into the weekend. And if you happen to have some time or it's your favorite thing to do on the weekend to make something pretty, then go make something pretty and don't feel like you have to do like 17 techniques to make it beautiful. Okay. That's my goal for Fridays. All right. So I also start all of my Feel Good Friday shows out with a maker mix. The maker mixes are small batch, little beady mixes of goodness that I don't have enough of to make a full kit out of, but I still want to share. And those little beady mixes you can purchase in my Etsy shop as well. And if you purchase one, you can create a piece of jewelry, post it, and you are automatically entered into a drawing to receive a shipment of good beady goodness from me. We don't judge your piece. We don't. We just want to be inspired by the cool things that you make with the maker mixes. So today, the maker mix is a pretty peacock mix, and it's one of my favorites. It's really beautiful. Can't wait to show that to you guys. And then I've got 5 kits for you. We've got a beautiful necklace that comes in 2 colors. We've got 2 bracelets and 2 pairs of earrings. Is that right? 2 bracelets, 2 pairs. Yeah, I think that's right. All right. So I'm going to turn you guys around and we are going to get started. All right, let's get started with this maker mix. Like I said, this one is called Pretty Peacock, and it is so pretty. So pretty. Look how pretty. So this is a beautiful green and blue mix. There are some little pops of like raspberry that are on some of these check glass beads. There's teal in here. This really beautiful, or there are 2 really beautiful leaf charms that are like a very beautiful. They're gold, but they're not like yellow gold. They're like this kind of yummy, like toned down gold. It's just a really beautiful color. Anyway, this mix is chock full of check glass. Like this is a really full mix. So there are check glass leaves, 2 different kinds of check glass leaves. Actually, there are check glass rounds of all different shapes or all different sizes rather, blues and greens. There are some check glass ovals in here as well as some faceted glass, lots of icons. This is just a really beautiful, beautiful mix. It's called Pretty Peacock. And I hope you guys love it because I think it's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. So that's our maker mix. I'm going to move this on out of the way. We are not going to waste any time. We're going to get started. I'm going to show you. Heather says it looks silver. It does look silver over camera, but I promise you it's not. I promise it's gold. All right. So we're going to start out with our necklace. And you guys, this necklace comes in 2 different colors. It comes in this really cool teal color. And then there's also like a raspberry pink color. So when I say the color, I'm talking about the beads. Let me lay all this out. I'm going to show you what we're going to create because I think this necklace is super cool. This is a 3-strand necklace. It's a pretty easy to put together design. All we're using is just some simple loops here. But the results are awesome. I have to lift you up so that you can see everything. So we're going to start out with our focal here. This is going to be our bottom layer of the 3 strands. We have our little key pendant, and that's going to hang from this beautiful pendant here. And we're actually going to do we're going to put a check glass bead in here too. I want to pull up the picture to make sure that I put everything in the correct place. You guys know how it goes. I take the pictures of everything so that I can post them on the Etsy shop. And I always want to be sure that I'm putting them together the exact same way that they are pictured because I don't want anybody to get confused, right? So we're going to take these check glass beads. These came from Danielle Wicks. You guys, Danielle is our beady godmother, amazing designer, wonderful, wonderful human being. Right? Love, love, love. Kim says, when you purchase a maker mix and post a picture of it, can you include other beads from your stash? Absolutely. Absolutely. The creativity part is totally up to you. So we're going to put that bead between the 2 of these just to kind of break this up a little bit and kind of bring this color down. But I'm going to show you what the rest of this is going to look like. So we're going to do a beaded chain on either side. And we're just doing simple loops. Look at those check glass rondelles. So pretty. So one of them is going to go this direction. We're going to add a bead to that one because it's 5 beads, right? And we're going to do the same thing over here. Some of them are already wire wrapped. We're going to have to wire wrap the rest of them. Why am I missing beads here? Something is missing. Oh, put that bead on the wrong. No, it's not 5, it's 4. All right. So this is going to be the bottom strand of our necklace. And we're actually going to finish this off with some pieces of chain. Now in your kits, all of the pieces of chain have been pre-cut for you and pre-measured. So you don't have to worry about any of that, right? You can rest assured that the pieces that go in the front are all pre-cut for you. Okay. All right. So now the second strand is going to be just a chain strand. And the chain strand has this really awesome Bali style silver pendant. Okay. So that's going to hang on the next strand up. I'm going to lift you guys up even more. Okay. And then the third strand is another little beaded strand with some of these really beautiful little teal beads, but then we're also going to do some hearts. So I've got some heart charms that we're going to hang. There's 3 hearts. And then we're going to bead up the rest of this. Okay. And then to finish this off, we're just going to use chain for the length. So we're going to bring these 3 strands together. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to do all of that right now. So let's get started. We're going to start down here at the bottom with our focal. Okay. So lowering it back down a little bit. Okay. And we're going to start right here because simple loops is the name of the game. So we're going to take one of those check glass beads and we're going to thread it onto an eye pin. And then I'm going to come in with my pliers here. Okay. So I'm using my chain nose pliers. I know Sam and Danielle have been nominated as the top 20 artists. I know. Maybe one year I'll get lucky enough to be on that list too. I think it's so awesome. All right. So anyway, gonna grab, sorry, I have a hair in my mouth. I'm like trying to get it out. My bad. Okay. So we're going to do a simple loop here. Congratulations indeed to Sam and Danielle. They absolutely deserve it. Of course they do. Okay. Now I'm going to come in with my cutter tool and I'm going to trim. So I'm going to leave myself, since we're not doing a wrapped loop, I don't have to have all that wire. I only need about 1/4 of an inch of wire. So I'm going to trim. I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers and I'm going to roll back towards the bead and towards my hand to make a simple loop, right? That's all you got to do. Now I know some of you struggle with simple loops, so you can always do a wrapped loop if you want to. Okay. So we're going to connect that with a jump ring. Okay. So we're going to use one of our jump rings here. And I'm going to use 2 pairs of pliers. Now I have to have a large jump ring because it needs to clear the surface area of this pendant. So that, and then I'm going to thread on my check glass bead, one of the loops, and then I'm going to close that back. And then we're going to use another jump ring to connect it to our pendant here. Okay. Close that back. All right. And we've got our focal. Okay. So now we need 2 jump rings. And the reason that we need 2 jump rings here, let me show you, is because we need a jump ring to connect our pendant to our 2 strands. But we also have our pendant loop facing towards us, and we want our loop to connect everything facing towards us. So we need a go between, right? So we're going to use 2 jump rings to make that happen. I'm going to open this jump ring and go ahead and thread it on. The other jump ring, I'm going to wait to open it until we finish our little beaded chain here. So you can see on one side, it's already done just to save some time. It's a beaded chain. It's just simple loops like we just did. This side, some of them are already done. We're going to attach that one and we're going to do a simple loop with this one. So we're going to take our eye pin, drop our bead down onto our eye pin. We're going to do a simple loop. Okay, so again, we're bending the wire right where it is exiting the bead. And then we're going to come in with our cutter tool and we're going to trim off. Oh, these cutters have got to go to the trash. And then we're going to come in with our round nose pliers, grabbing the wire and rolling back to create that simple loop. All right, now when you create that simple loop, now we need to open it, and you want to open it like a jump ring. You want to give it a twist. Don't pull it apart. You'll never get that round shape again. So open with a twist, thread that onto one of the previous loops, and then you just want to twist to close it back. And then same thing with our last bead. So pick a loop, any loop, open, thread on, and then close back. Okay. All right. So now we can connect here. We're going to take our jump ring that's going to be front facing. We're going to thread on our pendant. We're going to thread on our beads on one side and our beads on the other side, and we're going to close that back. All right, so we've got our first bottom strand is almost ready to go. The next thing we need to do is we need to attach to our chain. So we're going to open up the last bead here. We're just going to open just like that. We're going to attach a piece of chain, close that back. And then we're going to do the same thing over here on the other side. Oh, you didn't offend me at all. You totally did not offend me at all. Not at all. Not at all. Right. All right. So there's our bottom strand. Okay. Now our next strand, super, super simple. So the next strand is just our piece of chain, right? And a jump ring on our pendant. Okay. And we're just going to lay that out because we're not ready to connect everything just yet. Now we're going to do this third strand. So our third strand is, again, a series of these little rondelles. There is a small piece of chain to go on the end. Okay. And everything here is connected with a jump ring. So that's what makes this chain different than this chain. This one is just straight beads with them linking together. This one, there are actual jump rings in between there. We do have one of these little baby beads that needs to have a simple loop on it. So we'll do that together and then we'll connect to the rest of these. All right, so grabbing the wire, bending. We're going to come in and roll back. So that's a really good question. Nicole said there was a question. Somebody asked if you use a different pair of cutters for cutting bead stringing wire. And the answer is you should. I don't, because I mean, y'all, look, I wish that I could be like, yes, I do. I use a different pair of cutters and you know, I'm really careful because I'm always telling y'all to be careful with these. But y'all, the truth is that I use these for all the things that I shouldn't use them for, and look at them. So the answer is I don't, because I'm bad, but you should. You should do as I say, not as I do. Beadalon does make a great cutter just for cutting your bead stringing wire, and I recommend that you use it. I should. I'm a bad designer. I'm not a bad designer, but I'm really bad on tools, y'all. All right, so open up a jump ring here, okay, and we're gonna connect this together. So with each one of our jump rings in the center of this, because we only have 3 hearts, we're going to thread on one of our heart charms. And then before we close that, we're going to thread on another bead, and we're going to close that back. Okay. So you can see each heart has a jump ring, but then it's attached to the jump ring that goes between each one of the beads. Okay. We're going to do another one. Have you ever used concave round nose pliers to make simple loops? I have, and I have a pair around here somewhere. I honestly just kind of forget that I have them. I have used them and they work well. I just don't ever think about it because round nose pliers I just kind of always have on hand. But yeah, they're great. They're really cool to use. They make things really easy. So if you struggle with your simple loops, those are really good for practice. And well, I mean, not just practice, but in general, they're really good for making your loops because they do a lot of the hard work for you. All right, we've got one more bead here. I'm going to link it with one more jump ring, and then we're going to add our short little piece of chain. Okay, close that back. All right, so the piece of chain that goes over here on this side is just a really, really short little piece. And again, it's in your kit's already been cut for you, so you don't have to do any of that measuring. Okay, so I'm going to thread that on and thread that on to our little beaded strand. Okay, now what we have left to do here is just to connect everything together. We're going to use a large jump ring to do that. So I'm going to open up a jump ring. I'm going to thread on each strand. So there's our bottom strand. Here's our second strand, which is just our chain. and then the end chain of our third strand. And I'm going to close that. Oh, what? Nope, I'm not going to close that back because we got to do our length. And our length is just another piece of chain. Now, this long piece of chain that's in your kit, you do have to cut it. You're going to need to decide how long you want your necklace to be and then pre-cut it. And of course, you want to add your hardware to the ends and finish off your necklace. But that's the only part of it. But I wanted to be sure that you could make this necklace whatever length you wanted it to be and not be limited by what I have pre-cut for you. But you have plenty of chain to choose from, so you can make your necklace any length that you want. And that's it, you guys. So pretty. So like, this is such a cool 3-strand necklace. It's hard for you to see all of it on camera. Don't forget, we have like our pendant down here, and then we've got our 3 strands. They come together into a single piece of chain. Now, this kit is available, like I said, in 2 different colors. So there's this teal color, and then the alternate version of this is in like raspberry pinky color. The picture is the second picture, so you can choose the color when you go to the Etsy shop. The first picture that you see is in the teal, but if you'll swipe over and look at the second picture, you can see the pink color. So really, really beautiful in both colors, I'm here to tell you. All right. Okay. So that was our first kit. Whoa, I'm so sorry, you all. I will show you what this looks like on the bust when we get to the ends, but for now, I'm going to move this out of the way. All right. So our next kit for today, let's go ahead and get into our bracelets. We've got 2 really cool bracelets. They're super simple to put together. Simple is always the name of the game on our Friday shows. So we're going to put together a bracelet with a button clasp. These are always super, super popular. We have these beautiful tiara cast buttons. These came from Danielle Wicks and our tiara cast. Like I mentioned, it's a shank style button. You're going to put a jump ring on the back of that. Okay. And we're going to use some leather cord USA leather that is in your kit as our loop for our buttons. So I'll show you how to do all of that. But first, we're going to do some simple stringing here. All right. So I want to show you. We have a green man. You know, the story of the green man. We've got a green man charm that's going to go on our bracelet as well. And then the rest of this, these beautiful check glass rounds came from Sam. Absolutely gorgeous. That fire polish. And then we have these really cool matte brown beads. Now this all goes together really, really beautiful. So let me show you. We've got some metal accents in here as well. We're going to use some bead stringing wire. So included in your kit is some 19 strand beadline bead stringing wire in gold color. And we're going to thread on a crimp. Oh, if I could hold on to it. Okay, and then we're going to thread on our wire guardian. Okay, so we're going up through the wire guardian, and then we're going to come back down through the wire guardian and down through our crimp. Okay. You want to be sure that those bead stringing wires are not crisscrossing inside that crimp bead, that they're running parallel. You want to hold those out. Okay, and then you're going to come in with your crimper tool. We're going to use that back notch. It's the one that looks like the macaroni noodle. And that tooth is going to come down, squeezing that crimp and further separating out those wires within the crimp so they're not touching each other. We're going to turn that sideways and put it into the front notch of the crimper tool and give it a squeeze. That is going to tidy it up and just make it a little bit smaller. And then we're going to come in with our cutter and we're going to trim off the excess. Maybe. My cutter tool has seen better days. So has this one. I have 2 of them, y'all, and they're both like they're on their last legs. Okay, I'm just being honest with you. I'm not very kind to them. I'm very hard on them. So yeah. All right, so we are going to start stringing up our bracelet here, and we're going to start out with a metal bead. So we're going to thread on one of these beautiful. Whoops. One of these beautiful metal beads. Okay, we're going to do one of these matte kind of frosty beads, a daisy spacer, another matte frosty bead. We're going to do a metal bead. And then we're doing 2 of these check glass beads and another metal bead. And that's going to be our pattern. So I'll show you here in just a second. I realize it's all in my hand. It's hard for you to see it. I'm going to hold it out here in just a second so you can see. But this is what the pattern is going to be. Right, so we've got, basically we have 2 sections of beads. We have our matte beads and we have our fire polish beads, and those are just going to be separated by the metal beads. In between the matte ones is a daisy spacer. So we're just going to repeat that pattern, and we're going to string up the whole bracelet. So we've got the matte bead, a daisy spacer, a matte bead, okay, and then a metal bead. We've got 2 of our fire polish. A metal bead. And then again with the matte frosty beads. I love these matte frosty beads. They're so cool. I have them in a bunch of different colors. This brown is such a pretty neutral. And this is going to be a really beautiful bracelet for fall. Now, I realize, guys, that fall is still several weeks away, but going forward, I just want you to know that we are going to kind of start focusing on our fall jewelry because we need to be ahead of the game, right? We've got to be a little bit ahead when it comes to what's coming up. So we are going to start talking about leaves and fall colors and those kinds of elements in our jewelry designs, whether it's Tuesdays or if it's our Feel Good Friday kits, you're going to start seeing some fall elements coming in, which is one of my favorites. I love fall jewelry, so I'm not mad at it. I do love summer jewelry, beachy themed things. I love all of that, but I do love that transition to fall because you get to use such fabulous neutrals and dark, bold, like maroons and oranges. Those are my favorites. So I'm looking forward to all of that. I hope you are too. All right. So we're just beading up our pattern here. We've got 1 more set of the frosty beads with our daisy spacer in between. We're going to finish that off with a metal bead, and then we're going to crimp. Okay. So here's our strand. You can see just how pretty that is. All comes together. And brown is one of those colors you can wear all year, right? It doesn't matter if it's fall, it doesn't matter if it's winter. You can get away with wearing this all the time. It's gorgeous, right? Neutral is a neutral. Okay, so I'm going to thread on my crimp. We're going to use our wire guardian, and then we're going to put all of this together. I'll show you how to do that. So taking the wire guardian, our wires going up and down through that wire guardian and then back down through our crimp. Pull everything down. Oh, hi, Nancy. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm glad that you grabbed a necklace kit. That's awesome. All right, so we're going to crimp. Okay, back notch of that crimper tool, and then we're going to turn it sideways and put it in the front notch. Give it a good squeeze. Come in with our cutter, trim off. All right, so what we have is we have our 2 wire guardians on the ends of our bracelet. So what we need to do is assemble everything. We're going to use our leather cord. It's that really soft, supple Leather Cord USA leather to create this little guy. Okay, so we're going to take a large jump ring here, and I'm actually going to go ahead and thread this jump ring onto one of the ends of our bracelet. Okay, so that's already ready. Then I'm going to take our leather and I'm going to thread that on. I'm going to bring the ends together so that I can find the middle, and I'm just going to tie an overhanded knot. Betty said, I was trying to figure out what was wrong with that daisy spacer. It's shaped like a star. Yeah. Tim says you're just wanting Halloween to hurry up. I am. And sweater weather. I don't do heat. Everybody who knows me personally knows I don't do heat. I cannot handle hot weather. I have some medical reasons that I can't deal with heat for long lengths of time. So when the weather starts to turn, like that's my time to really enjoy being outside instead of just looking at it from the window in the air conditioning. Okay, so now what I want to create a little opening here, right? And that's going to be where our button is going to fit through. That's how our clasp is actually going to work. So I'm going to tie another overhanded knot, but this one is down from the first one just a little bit. And I want to be sure that before I cinch this knot all the way down, that I leave enough room to accommodate that button. So as I'm pulling this down, I just want to kind of lay that against my button, make sure that there's plenty of room. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with my cutter tool and trim off some of this. There's a little extra. You can do whatever you want to. You can cut them completely off if you want. But now that's how our bracelet is going to go. It's going to be closed, right? If you'll remember when I showed you this cool tiara cast button, it's already got a jump ring on it. You'll have to put the jump ring on yours. But that jump ring, you're just going to open it up and attach it to the wire guardian on the other end of your bracelet. And that's it as far as the hardware is concerned. It goes together really beautifully. These bracelets, we do a lot of these button clasps because I absolutely adore buttons. They're one of my favorite things in jewelry. So we do a lot of these and they always sell out really quickly. But I want to add a charm to this. That was the point. I was trying to get to that part. We're going to add this really cool green man charm to our bracelet. And I'm going to add it to that jump ring where our leather is attached. Now you can put this charm anywhere you want, but I like it right there. I just think that it all comes together really cool. So there you go. There is our first bracelet of the day. Now my next bracelet is in silver, if you like silver better than gold, but I got to tell you this, even if you don't like gold, this is a gorgeous bracelet. Like it really is. It's absolutely beautiful. So I hope you guys love this one. All right. Okay, so I'm going to set this one to the side. We're going to move on to the next. So the next bracelet that we put together, this one's got a little sparkle, a little bling in it. We have these gorgeous check glass beads. We've got some glass pearls, and we also have some faceted rondelle crystals in here, as well as these super cool Swarovski charms. Yes, I said the S word. I don't care. They can come after me if they want to. I'm not I'm not worried about it because that's what that is right there. That's a beautiful Swarovski crystal that's been set in this. And I got to tell you something, Danielle Wicks set every single one of these crystals herself. Okay. So just know that I didn't set that crystal in there, but she did. And so if you get one of these bracelets with one of those in there, she did that. Not me. We also have an extension chain here so that you can adjust the size of your bracelet a little bit. We're going to add a check glass bead to that. I'm just going to sit this to the end. But basically, this is another really beautiful stringing project, and I'm going to show you the pattern. All right. So we're going to put together this bracelet. In this one, you've got some more beautiful 19 strand bead stringing wire from Beadalon. This one is in bright. And we're going to start out exactly the same way. Okay, this is just a simple stringing project. But again, it's Feel Good Friday, and we're all about the simple and the beautiful and keeping things easy. So we're threading on our crimp. A wire guardian, we're going to crimp exactly the same way. Okay, just want to be sure every time you crimp that those two wires are not crisscrossing. Okay, and then the front notch and squeeze, and then you're going to come in with your cutter tool, trim off the excess wire. I know, right? Wanda says, I'm absolutely certain Danielle has a time turner to get all of her things done. There is no other explanation. I know. I was telling Sam the other day, Sam and I had this like really long talk the other day. Sometimes we just check in with each other. You know, we were FaceTiming and we were having a conversation about Danielle. Danielle, I don't know if your ears were burning or not, but we were talking about you, all good things, of course. And I told Sam that you're not of this planet. She's not of this planet. She is a magical, beady goddess from a completely other planet, another dimension altogether. Like there's no other explanation for it. She's just that wonderful. Okay, so threading on a metal bead. Okay, and I'm going to thread on a check glass round, and then I'm going to thread on another metal bead. These little metal beads have a little texture to them. Whoops. Now this pattern is a little different. So if you want to do it this way, you want to pay attention to the pattern here. Okay, so there's that. Then we're going to thread on a bead cap and a faceted crystal bead and another bead cap. Okay. We're going to do another metal bead, and then this time we're going to do a glass pearl and another metal bead. And then we're going to throw in a little check glass twist bead here. All these check glass beads, these came from Sam. Okay, so there's a twist. We're going to do another metal bead, a bead cap, a crystal. I will hold this out so you can see it in just a second. Just let me get this little section on here first. Okay. A metal bead and a pearl. So this is our first little bead section. This is what the pattern for it is going to be. Okay. So this bracelet kind of comes together in 3 little sections. So this is the first section. So the first section, everything's separated out by those metal beads, but we've got a check glass round, a crystal faceted bead, a glass pearl, a check glass twist, a crystal, and another pearl. Okay. Now we're going to do a metal bead. This is where the pattern changes a little bit. Okay. We're going to do 3 check glass rounds. Okay. And metal bead. 3 more check glass rounds. A metal bead, and 3 more check glass rounds. So you can see this is our pattern here has changed. So this is the second little section, and you're going to finish that off with a metal bead. Okay. So I'm going to bring that down. So you can see the 2 sections come together. So it basically puts those check glass rounds, those are in kind of what would be the center of your bracelet. Now we're going to repeat this section over here on this side. Okay. So to repeat all of that, we're doing a glass pearl, a metal bead. Oh my gosh, you're not even in the screen. Hold on. Let me move everything upwards. Trying to make sure you can see everything and then failing miserably at that. Oh, and hitting the iPad. I apologize. Make everybody seasick too. Oh my gosh. All right. A bead cap, faceted, a bead cap. Ooh, a time turner necklace needs to be a hardwired project. I'm all about that. All about that. Let's do it. Oh my gosh. All right. A metal bead. A check glass twist. I love these. They're so cool. A metal bead. Okay. And then we're going to do another glass pearl. You can see we're just recreating the same pattern here. Okay. A metal bead. Bead cap, crystal bead, a bead cap, a metal bead. Okay, and then we're going to finish with the check glass round and a metal bead. And then we're going to crimp all of this. Okay. So we're going to thread on our crimp. Whoops. Hold on to it and our wire guardian. And then, of course, we're just going to pull everything down and crimp just like we did with our previous bracelet and like we did here in the beginning when we got this one started. So just pull everything down. Okay. And Again, making sure those wires are not crossing inside that crimp. Can't say that enough. Okay. And then we're going to come in with our crimper tool, squeeze, and then we're going to turn it sideways and squeeze. Come in with our cutter and trim off what's left over. Okay, so there's the bracelet. But now we got to do all of the extra. The extra is what makes it extra special, of course. So we've got this really pretty heart-shaped lobster clasp. Okay, we've got some jump rings here. Oh, I have these extra wire guardians from yesterday. Need to move those out of the way. And we have our charm here. Okay, so we are going to do a jump ring. And our charm. And before we close that, we're going to attach our clasp. And we're going to close that back. Okay. Now over on the other side, we've got a little bit of extension chain so that you can adjust the size of your bracelet if you need to. Okay. And I don't like extension chain to be plain. I feel like it's just boring and it gives you an opportunity to have a dangle. So add a dangle. We're using a head pin and an extra check glass bead. And we're going to wire wrap this to our chain. So I'm going to do a wrapped loop coming in with my chain nose pliers, bending the wire over the top of the pliers. I'm going to come in the round nose pliers, take the wire up and over. We're going to rotate those pliers so that I can take the wire over to the other side. And I'm going to wrap this directly to my chain. So I'm going to take that and thread it through and just slide that into the last link on my chain. And I'm going to hold that with my bent chain nose pliers. Hold that out of the way. And we're going to do our wraps. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with my cutter tool and trim off the excess. Okay, and then this is going to be, this is going to be attached to the jump ring on the other side. So when you use your clasp, you can either attach it to the jump ring or one of the links in your extension chain. So that goes on to the wire guardian at the end, and so does the chain, right? Close that back. And now you can really adjust your clasp when you go to put your bracelet on. If you're going to put it in a booth or you're going to give it as a gift, you don't really know what size bracelet somebody might need. So that's where your extension chain comes in and you can close that up. But that's our bracelet with our beautiful little charm. It even has a beautiful heart for the clasp. Just a really, really pretty bracelet that does have lots of color, but it's like, they're kind of muted colors, right? They're not like in your face, like box of crayons colors. These are muted. They definitely work really well with any of the neutrals that you may have in your closet. Just really, really beautiful and a little bit of sparkle. Okay. All right. So I'm going to set this one over to the side. Let me move this one over. We've got 2 pairs of earrings to put together, and then I'm going to let you go, guys. And these earrings go together really, really quickly. So we're going to start out with the tiara cast steers, and these are in copper. Got these from Danielle, and we're using antique copper as all of our findings, and these go together super quick, super quick. We've got these gorgeous blue bicones and these check glass rondelles that also came from Danielle that are like this teal and dark blue kind of mix. So pretty. All right, so we're going to put these together quick and easy. We're going to take an eye pin. We're going to open up that eye pin and we're going to thread our charm on. And then we just want to close that back. Okay. All right. We're going to thread on a blue. It's like beautiful sapphire blue. A blue. One of the check glass rondelles. A daisy spacer, another check glass, and another bicone. And then we're going to do a wrapped loop. You can do a simple loop if you want to. Totally up to you. I'm going to do a wrapped loop. So I'm just going to grab that wire, give it a bend. Okay. Up and over rotate the pliers, take the wire over to the other side, and then I'm going to wire wrap. Whoops. Straighten that up a little bit. And then I'm going to come in with my cutter and trim off the excess. If you need to tuck in, just be careful because that is a bicone. And when you come in with your tool to kind of squeeze, just be careful that you don't crack the top of your bicone. But the only thing left to do is just add your ear wire. These are super simple and super cool. Like this, the Southwestern theme is not going anywhere. I keep seeing a lot of Southwestern, Western, and Native American accents in a lot of jewelry. It's been going strong for about 2 years now and doesn't really seem to be going anywhere. So that's what those are all about. I'm sure that there's some symbolism there. I'm not quite sure what they represent. I probably should look that up, but they're from Tiara Cast, and they have a whole kind of Southwestern-y line that they all go together with. There are some other charms and components and things that they have. And you can get them in different colors as well, but we've got them in the kits in this awesome copper color. So those are the first earrings, and we've got one more pair of earrings, and then I'm going to let you guys go for the day, okay? All right, the next set of earrings are also Tiara Cast earrings, and these are definitely this transition pair to get us into fall. So let me show you these beautiful copper buttons, and they're 2-hole buttons instead of shank style buttons, and they have that leaf imprint on them. And then we've got some leaf Tiara Cast charms, and I've added a little sparkle to these because I got to have a little extra bling. So we're going to put these together really, really quickly. So we're using 2 jump rings to put these together. We've got 2 pieces of chain here. Let's do the wire wrapped part first. So on each one of the pieces of chain, we've got a simple loop and a charm, or a simple loop with a crystal and then a charm. And then these 2 are just 2 crystals. So we're going to put these on to the larger crystal, and the smaller crystal are going onto a head pin. And we're going to do a simple loop. Okay. I'm going to come in with my chain nose pliers. I'm going to bend the wire right where it is exiting that bead. I'm going to come in with my cutter and trim off. Leave yourself about 1/4 of an inch. And then you're going to use your round nose pliers and roll back to create your simple loop. Now you can go ahead if you want to and twist to open that loop and thread it onto one of the pieces of chain. And then you just want to close that back. So that's already ready to go. Just make sure you get a good closure on that so that the chain doesn't sneak off. Okay. Now the other one is on an eye pin. So we're using an eye pin. We're going to thread our crystal on. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's open up the loop on our eye pin and thread our charm on, just so that we don't have to move our bead out of the way. So open that up, thread on your leaf. You want to go ahead and close that back. And we're going to thread on our crystal. And we're going to do another simple loop. So I'm going to bend the wire. Now, you may not need to trim any of this. I'm going to just the tiniest little bit. And then I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers, roll back. And then again, once I've made that loop, I'm going to twist to open, thread on our chain, and then twist to close. Okay, so there are our 2 dangle parts for our earring are ready to go. We are going to get a jump ring here, twist to open your jump ring, and we're going to thread that on. And before we close that, we're going to go ahead and thread on our chains. If I can hold everything together here. Everything keeps twisting to my hand. All right, so there's that one. And then we're going to thread on the other one. Okay, and we're going to close that back. Make sure you get a really good closure on that. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing up here. We're going to do another jump ring. So twist, attach your jump ring, and then we need our go-between jump ring here so that our ear wire hangs in the right direction. So we're going to thread on our smaller jump ring, close that back, and we're actually going to attach our ear wire to this little jump ring. That's just so everything hangs the correct direction, okay, because you can see the loop on our ear wire is facing away from us. So we're going to twist to open that, and then just thread that on to that smaller jump ring and close it back, and that's done. And you can adjust these. If the chain is a little too long, you can shorten it up for sure. But these have just that really cool transition, like antique copper you can wear all year, green, this kind of teal green you can wear all year, but it does have that kind of fall thing going on because we've got leaves going on here. And of course there are leaves in the summertime too, but there's just something about the leaf and the copper that kind of has that fall feeling to it. So I'm ready. I don't know about y'all. I'm ready. This is a good little transition piece we've got going on here. All right, I'm going to turn you guys around, okay? And we're going to go back through all of the things that we created. And got a couple of little extra things to mention before we go anywhere. Bring that over here too. All right, so I'm going to show you the necklace that we made first. This is absolutely awesome necklace. I'm going to double it on the, I'm not going to double it in the bust, I don't think. Just tie it in a knot. Give me just a second. Because it's a little bit longer than the bust itself. Obviously, you've got to. All right, so here is our 3-strand necklace from the very beginning that we put together. This is the one that comes in this gorgeous teal color, but it also comes in a pink. So it's got our really cool key on the bottom. It's got this really cool element here. It's got our Bali pendant on it, and then some little hearts. Like, I love a good layered look. This is a great one because the layers are short layers so that the layers don't go all the way around to the back of your neck and they don't tend to get twisted with each other. I wear a lot of layers, and by the end of the day, like, mine are all twisted together. But if you do a faux where they come together on a single strand to finish, you don't have to worry about any of that happening. But I mean, that's just kind of part of wearing layers, right? We all kind of deal with that. But when you do it like this, you don't have to. So this was the teal one. Don't forget it comes in the pink as well. All right. And then we had our 2 bracelets. We had our green man bracelet with our tiara cast button and our gorgeous beads. Our leather cord USA leather. We had our other bracelet that I didn't, for whatever reason, attach the clasp. I mean, I attached it. I didn't close the clasp. Let me do that really quickly. So we've got our little, whoops, would help if you could see. So we have our charm here with the crystal in it. And then you've got this really beautiful mix of color. And then the glass pearls. It's just a really pretty little bracelet. Okay. And then we have our 2 pairs of earrings. So we have our steers with the blue. That blue is gorgeous. You can see the length on those. If you need to adjust, you can for sure. All right. And then last but not least are the leaves that we just put together. You can see that gorgeous teal green and copper combo. You can shorten those up if you need to. So pretty. So, so pretty. So Nicole says the teal necklace is sold out, but the pink is still available. Y'all, the pink is just as pretty as the teal, if not prettier. I'm just saying, because it's not really pink. It's like a rosy raspberry, and then there's kind of like a peach. It's not pink, y'all, and it's gorgeous. I'm just saying. All right. So also don't forget that our maker mix today was the Pretty Peacock. Absolutely beautiful mix of teal, blue, and green. Just a really, really beautiful maker mix. I do want to mention that tonight I have a class with Sam. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern time over on Sam's Bead Shop Facebook page. I did a class last week. We put together a really awesome set with this gorgeous kit of amazing beads that he put together. I've got another one tonight if you want to come and hang out. Look at the project. So this is just a necklace. Can never hold these upright. I don't know why. But this is the necklace. So it's a 2-strand with a beady tassel on it. And there is also a bracelet and a pair of earrings that go with it. So if you want to come, it's always fun when Sam and I get together. We always have the best time, and we're putting together some really cool jewelry. So please come hang out. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Make your adjustments for whatever time zone you're in. Really looking forward to that. It's going to be so much fun. So much fun. And, you know, don't forget to shop with Sam while you're there. Like, some of you already bought the kits. If you didn't already buy the kit, go stock up on some of the other beady goodness from Sam's shop, because he has all of the things. Obviously, he and Danielle are what make my world go around. So without them, I could not make all of this amazing jewelry and these great kits. So you definitely want to go, because that's where I get all my beads from. Right? Go check them out. Send them all the love. And I will be there tonight, 7 p.m. Please don't forget to come and hang out. It will also be simulcasted on my Facebook and YouTube as well. So if you don't know how to get there, don't worry. You just come to where you are right now and you'll be able to see it too, because Sam and I share our streams, which is awesome. So, all right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me for this Feel Good Friday show. I hope that you have had an amazing time with me. I hope I've inspired you. Thank you for all your purchases in my Etsy shop. I will be back with you guys next week, right? On Tuesday at 1 p.m. for another fun show. I'm not sure what we're putting together, but it's gonna be something good, right? At least I hope so. I hope you'll think so. I don't know what it's gonna be. It'll be a surprise to me too. But I'll come up with something between now and then. Don't forget, you guys, tonight, if you are a Hardwired member, don't forget that our Hardwired schedule has changed from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. So I'll be looking forward to our weekly wrap up with all of my Hardwired members. All of you that will be at the Sam's class later, I look forward to seeing you. If I don't see you tonight, I will see you guys next week. You guys have an amazing weekend, right? I love you, and I will see you soon. Okay. Bye, guys.